The term Keyblade Master is a title that dates as far back as the fairy tale age of Kingdom Hearts, and while the term itself has been tossed around quite a bit, which we'll get into later on in the video, there are specific requirements for a Keyblade wielder to be recognized as a Keyblade Master. If you enjoy these kinds of lore-based videos on Kingdom Hearts, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that. Now, let's get started. As I stated previously, the title of Keyblade Master dates as far back as the fairy tale age, this being the time when the Master of Masters was active and governed a place known as Daybreak Town, as shown in Kingdom Hearts back cover. At the time, the Master of Masters had 6 apprentices that he himself trained, all of whom held the title of Keyblade Master. Before he disappeared, the Master of Masters wrote a book known as the Book of Prophecies, which detailed the future events to come. He gave a copy of this book to 5 of his students, Ira, Envy, Aced, Ava, and Gula, who came to be known as the Foretellers. The Book of Prophecies foretold that light would expire and darkness would prevail. In an effort to prevent this, the Foretellers, guided by the Master of Masters, armed themselves with the Book of Prophecies, formed their own individual unions, and gathered Keyblade wielders from all over to join them. And while the unions followed different paths, they all shared the same goal: eliminate the darkness and collect light. But despite this, the goal to collect light became competitive and eventually aggressive. Coupled with the Foretellers' own disagreements and mistrust of each other, a great battle between the Foretellers and their unions began, a battle for control of the ultimate light, Kingdom Hearts. This battle would become known as the Keyblade War, and as a result of it, the entire world was covered in darkness. However, thanks to the light that remained, the world was restored. Although it was no longer connected as one, it had been divided into countless smaller worlds, becoming the realm of light that we know today. Many Keyblade wielders lost their lives and the Foretellers disappeared, eventually becoming known as the Lost Masters. Reflecting on this conflict, the Keyblade wielders of the generations to come began to act as peacekeepers who watched over the realm of light. Among these Keyblade wielders, those who were considered to be very exceptional were dubbed Keyblade Masters, and by the start of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the only Keyblade Masters that are shown to be active are Master Ericus and Master Xehanort, with Yen Sid, a former master, watching over the balance of light and darkness and providing counsel to both Keyblade Masters. Now, normally, those who are recognized as Keyblade Masters are meant to take on students and train the next generation in the ways of being a Keyblade wielder, until their own students are eventually recognized as Keyblade Masters. And in order to become a Keyblade Master, a Keyblade wielder must be recognized by their mentor and approved for the title. And sometimes, but not always, a formal examination, the Mark of Mastery, must be passed for a Keyblade wielder to be approved as a Keyblade Master. In Birth by Sleep, Terra and Aqua undergo the Mark of Mastery with Ericus as their mentor. However, I do want to note that Ericus was actually going to recognize both Terra and Aqua as Keyblade Masters without a formal examination, but it was Xehanort who suggested that the Mark of Mastery be conducted, meaning Terra would have been recognized as a Keyblade Master if Xehanort didn't intervene prior. And this also leans into the fact that the title of Keyblade Master is exactly that, a title. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone who isn't recognized as a Keyblade Master is weaker or less capable than someone who is. Outside of power though, Keyblade Masters, as stated by Ericus, are entitled to certain secrets and are sometimes given certain responsibilities. For example, Ericus himself was chosen as the legitimate successor to the Land of Departure, a world in the realm between that has been protected by Keyblade Masters for generations. And the secret of this world, which Ericus relays to Aqua after she is recognized as a master, is that it could be locked away and transformed to protect it from being overrun by darkness, becoming what we know as Castle Oblivion, the setting of Kingdom Hearts' Chain of Memories. Aside from this, Keyblade Masters and those of similar power also have special abilities. Firstly, they possess the ability to perform the Keyblade Rite of Succession, also known as the Bequeathing. The Bequeathing allows Keyblade Masters, and again those of similar power, to pass the ability to summon a Keyblade, to a potential wielder. The bequeathing is fulfilled when the potential wielder comes into contact with the wielder performing the bequeathing through their Keyblade. Afterwards, if the potential wielder has a strong heart, they'll eventually be able to summon a Keyblade of their own. Secondly, Keyblade Masters possess the ability to extract hearts from the bodies of others as well as their own. And if a Keyblade Master were to extract their own heart and transfer it to vessel after vessel, they would essentially achieve immortality. So far, we've seen one Keyblade Master do this, Lushu, an apprentice of the Master of Masters who was tasked with passing down a Keyblade given to him by the Master and observing the foretellers. Sometime after the Keyblade War unfolded, Lushu extracted his own heart and began to move it from vessel to vessel until the time came where a Keyblade wielder who would reenact the Keyblade War appeared, that wielder being Xehanort. I think it's safe to say that Lushu is possibly centuries old, and with the conclusion of Kingdom Hearts 3, Lushu's final mission was completed, with the awakening of the Lost Masters. Now, something I do want to leave as a parting note is this. Some people believe that the title of Keyblade Master was retconned to have a different meaning in Birth by Sleep because in previous titles, like Kingdom Hearts Final Mix and Chain of Memories, Sora was frequently called a Keyblade Master. However, this is not a retcon, and I'll explain why. In the official English translation, Sora is called a Keyblade Master in those games, yes, but the word that's being translated as Master is actually the Japanese word for hero. If you take a look at the Japanese script for KH1 and KH-COM, Sora is being called a Keyblade Hero, not a Keyblade Master, so that's my Kingdom Hearts debunked segment if you want to call it that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at Mezukami. I'd really appreciate that. And don't forget to check the end screen for additional content. And as always, thank you for watching.